Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an amazing day. I know I am. Today we are going over how the Milkman destroys a baldy Genshin Impact player. Not this one though, the other one that's really bald and plays Genshin Impact a lot. Recently, Tectone has responded and reacted to Quintheo's video, which is insane update. Pirate Software's mod team quits. Now the video overall discusses how, Pirate Software's entire mod team quit. They left his number one, his OG, his pimp daddy just left, citing multiple things, mainly just talking about pay, benefits, so on and so forth, and overall just leaving him because, Pirate Software is a bit of a shit person, not gonna lie, but he does get a lot of flack for his unfinished game, as well as a few other subjects, which go check out Quintheo's videos. He makes great, phenomenal work. And if you didn't know, he takes inspiration from me. So, hey, go check him out. He's a smaller channel. Go check him out. Go show him some love. Unlike us, we over here with 3.3 million subscribers. But Tectone reacted to Quintheo's video, and in it, he does go over a few things. Primarily, just gets a blatantly stuff wrong. That's pretty much it. Goes over, you can't be paying all these people. These people aren't salary. They volunteer. You can't hire a mod to, mod people. You can always unmod them. Mods don't quit. They just get unmodded. Stuff like that. He also does take, a little light jabs at Tectone, saying, the world-renowned Rumble streamer, so on. And there is some, animosity because he did cover Tectone's whole legal situation, which in and of itself is a bit weird. I'm not fully in depth of it, so go, again, check out. But I'll hear from Quintheo himself. Take it away, my boy.
Importantly, Asmongold appears to have a good level of knowledge, or at least the knowledge needed to look at the drama that we're talking about and understand it and be brought up to speed. The same cannot be said for world-renowned Rumble streamer Tectone. And because of world-famous Rumble streamer Tectone's, lack of knowledge, it appears that he might now have to give 200 subs over to Pirate Software, as well as donate $10,000 to a charity of Pirate Software's choice.
Which, I gotta say, damn, $5,000 to a charity is not bad. I will say, the 200 subscribers, though, damn, how much is that?
Now, we're off to a great start. This is a cut down on Tectone's YouTube page from his legendary Rumble streams, where the title is Pirate Software Leaked DMs, It's Bad. Obviously, number one, these are not leaked DMs. The only leaked DMs are the chats that I have with moderators. All of this was in a public Discord channel on Kronos' server. Now, I thought maybe he just misunderstood that point, but it turns out that Tectone is not actually really a big fan of how I cover things, as I've made a video or two about him, I'm assuming. And I'm going to play just the first minute and a half of this video, and I think we're going to be on the same page as to what clearly went wrong here. Pirate Software's crew, more specifically his first mate, that being Kronos' head.
Now, I will say, I take every Quintheo video with a massive grain of salt, because I understand this is a man who's just trying to get a bag, and I respect that. But sometimes he really misses the point, and that's absolutely A-okay. That's where I come in.
Now,
but as you can see here in the video he posted, he's clearly wrong. And I understand, right? Getting your bag, getting your money. But the thing is, between that and actually going through a deep dive, actually getting the proper resources, the proper information to make a video and post it with full knowledge and full accountability, saying, hey, I did my backing. I did all the stuff that I needed to. But no, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because he made a video about me. And that's the truth, because Quintheo did make a video or two or three or a few of them, right, regarding Tectone, regarding the lawsuit and just covering it. So I understand the grain of salt, but you can't hold some weird scrutiny over that. And even Quintheo responds to it.
Oh, that is a teensy bit ironic. And the rest of his mod team have either been fired or jumped ship. And in doing a bit of research,
saying your mod team is fired is a very exaggerated way to just say they were unmodded. Firing a moderator, it's not a big a deal. These aren't employees, right? These are just people who volunteer to help out. It's really not that big of a deal. It makes no difference in their life whether they mod or don't mod. So saying they got fired is it's kind of an exaggerated statement.
And again, I don't understand where this is coming from. Pirate Software and a few others of, the moderation team behind Pirate Software actively said, hey, we're getting paid, we're getting benefits, all this, proved they're getting paid. Now, I understand, you can always unmod a mod. That's true. You can't fire a mod. That's false. These were actually paid employees that were getting salary, $60,000 a year. God, if I could set my ass every day. Now, to Tectone's point of view, I understand, all right, you're just a moderator, you volunteered for it. But no, if you were hand-selected and said, hey, I'm paying you this, yes, they got fired from their job or they quit the job. That's totally different from being, oh,
It seems that they were having some conversations in regard to their tenure working for Pirate Software, and I would say the negative
Tenure for working for Pirate Software. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like, maybe these guys are doing way more than any other mod on Earth, but like, it sounds like they're talking like a corporate CEO office like position. What do you mean tenure of being a mod? Like, is Pirate Software out here paying his mods like 60 grand a year?
yes, the answer is yes. He's stated it multiple times on stream. Now, I understand he has lied before regarding Pirate Software, regarding the game, regarding a few other things. I understand that, and him, hating on stop killing games. But this is one of the instances where he's like, "Hey, man, this is regarding money. All right, you don't fuck with people's money, man. Believe me."
he was so close. He was so close. If it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck and walks like a duck, it might be a duck. Oh, it's so bizarre. They're talking about this like working for him, 10-year firing. It's not like he's paying them, like he's said repeatedly. And here I was worried that I was missing a few bits of information. I'm so grateful that Tectone has shown up to react to my video to set the record straight.
But sometimes he really misses the point, and that's absolutely A-okay. That's where I come in.
Now, admittedly, I never really watched any of Tectone's stuff. I've made videos about him because I found it pretty funny that he admitted to being a grifter in court. Really, outside of covering some general news like the fact that it appears that he is going to get sued by his ex yet again after he lost the first court case, I would go as far to say after watching his reaction to my content that I'm not a fan of the guy. But we do need to take a look at another clip because he was very much in staunch disbelief at the idea that Pirate Software was full-time paying the moderation team as well as getting them benefits. This specific tweet comes from Snaky Leaf, so shout out to them. Tectone is extremely doubtful that Jason Pirate Software is paying his mods subs if any proof is provided.
Is there any proof beyond Pirate Software's word that he's paying his mods full-time salaries?
I'm super happy to see that renowned Rumble streamer Tectone reaches out to Grok to get the hard-hitting information that he needs.
We got him, boys. As you can see here, boom, instantly, Pirate Software comes in from the heavy ropes and just slams dunk on this baldy Tectone right here. And ladies and gentlemen, he does pay his employees. Now, it is blurred out. It is cut out. Now, to be fair, because, it is private information. You don't want to go out here, doxing your entire mods and stuff because, legal action, all the workings and all the stuffings, right?
He doesn't make that much.
I'm sure if he was also streaming on Rumble, he'd be making way more money.
And I will gift him 100 subs if I'm wrong. He may have done this at a point. He no longer does this. And if I'm wrong, I will gift him, no, not 100. I'll gift him 200 subs. 200 subs or $5,000 to a charity of his choice. Show me that you're paying 12 moderators $60,000 a year with benefits over, you know what? I'll be gracious. Over the last 6 months. You show me that, $10,000 to a charity of your choice.
But damn, getting bitched out by Pirate Software? Good lord. But also, what makes this part in this whole situation 20 times more funnier is that he uses Grok, yes, an AI search engine with no bias whatsoever, and it gives you factual statements. By the way, you're probably asking, why am I saying this in quotes? Because I just showed you the evidence. He's factually wrong. He's legit wrong about this, dude. It's crazy. Does this specific person pay these specific people? And the AI has to run it through a calculation to be like, oh, yes, he did, or oh, no, he didn't.
There it is, the challenge. He did some apt research with Grok, and he has come to the conclusion that it is impossible that Pirate Software was paying this full moderation team like he's claimed multiple times over the last few years. Now, the reason that I showed you that Twitter post in specific is that post doesn't actually include his, I'm gonna, donate to charity, 200 subs or the donation to charity. That was in his actual video. That's where that clip came from. But the reason I included that is because Pirate Software responded to that clip. So we've got this response. He shows redacted information showcasing that he, was sending payments in the W-2s of those payments as well. Shows that they were wire transfers originally and they switched over to different payroll systems afterwards. But we actually have Pirate talking about it on stream as well, which I figured would be, better for you guys to see. So I'll just play that clip now. Shout out to Leia Sapiente. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but but they actually have this clip that we're going over here.
I put this.
You can pause the video and break it down, but Tectone just reads the very top and it's like, oh, there's no refutable evidence. Like, motherfucker, if you take a minute to actually pause and like read through the entire site, you'd be like, oh, okay, there's some instances and there is some leeway regarding it. And you can, fight your argument with that. But no, you're just taking Rock's entire information like, nope, never happened. Oh, well.
Up, and I said the moment my content blew up, I started paying my moderators and other staff. The blow up happened in December 2023. Payment started in May 2024. We used wire transfers originally because I didn't know how to set anything up. I even gave them bonuses on Christmas. And all of that is actually detailed in here. I've redacted all of the payments and their names for obvious reasons. You don't make that shit public. That's their private information. Yeah, no. But all the dates are on here, and then it shows even the off-cycle payments that we did for bonuses for the employees as well, which is important to understand. But yeah, everything is there and accounted for on a monthly basis going all the way back to May 2024. And that was the thing is, like, if he makes that kind of a claim, and he claims that I wasn't doing that, this is the receipts. So don't make bullshit claims on the internet, bud. And if he's going to pay $10,000 to charity, I want it going to my Ahiga and Alveus Sanctuary, 100%.
So that's the dunk. And I already see people, being upset that he has blacked this stuff out. But yeah, it is a no-brainer. I don't disagree with Pirate there. The thing that I find funnier is that Tectone genuinely believed this, because it shows that he probably didn't know that this has been something that has been claimed since 2023.
And at the same time, if all the employees were saying, oh, we haven't been paid, we haven't been given our benefits, we haven't been given anything, wouldn't they come out either a year or a year and a half ago saying, oh, we never got paid for any of this, we never got paid for this, he's been lying to y'all? No, they did it. And the best opportunity for that to happen was with the whole, World of Warcraft, to stop killing games movement, to just say, oh yeah, to keep dunking on pirate software. But none of them said that. They just like, yeah, he's been paying us. Yeah. Well, there's literally him on record saying, yes, all of our employees are paid. All our moderation is being paid a good salary or, somewhat of a salary under those terms. Now Tectone's out 200 subs.
I don't think it takes a genius to just kind of think about this for a sec. If your boss was not paying you very well and they went around talking publicly, people that you yourself interact with as part of your job, and was saying things like, yeah, I pay them full time, they have full access to benefits, all this good stuff, why wouldn't you say something and completely expose them and also just like not work there?
Now, I'm not going to get to the whole, view botting, the whole, fake marathons and the fake subathons or the trains and the hypes and all that stuff. But it does lead into some weird possibilities. But no, Pirate Software was making decent money to pay his staff, as well as Tectone was saying he does not make enough money to pay most of his staff. Now, there is some, argument to say, okay, cool, he does pay his staff, but, due to them like leaving or quitting, he had to cut back a few things, but he can pay others more. It's stuff like that. But to say full-heartedly he does not make enough to pay his staff is just factually wrong. But once again, major shout-outs to Quintheo and, an L on Tectone for this one. Let's be real. And I gotta say, my boy got milked, good lord, by two different men. Gosh.